Welcome back, lovely people. This is part 2 of our Singleness. What are you doing with your season episode series? Oh, by the way, Truth Talks episode, I forgot to say that. Welcome to Truth Talks with Mia as well. Yeah, part 2. So, for this week's video, we're just going to chat a bit with Mia about just her singleness season and what she has learned and experienced. And so Mia, without further ado, let's go. Tell us about your season.
Usually when people come up to me and ask me about my singleness, or that irritating thing that your grandpa does where he's like, where's the boyfriend? Why haven't you brought him to meet us yet? I'm like, he's non-existent, that's why.
He's coming.
Yeah, he's out there somewhere. I usually used to get so anxious because I always thought that people would judge me for the way that I view relationships and singleness, because in high school I got quite a lot of flack because of I have a very different perspective on how people should
go about
dating and those kind of things, and the Lord has pruned me. I now know that just because that's my journey, it does not mean that it's everyone's journey. But the Lord has definitely called me for singleness, not in the sense that I'm not going to get married one day and have a family and those kind of things, but I'm one of those people who, as far as I've been hearing from the Lord, definitely I'm waiting for my husband. He is going to be the first person that I'm going to be in a relationship with. That's what the Lord has called me for, according to what I'm hearing at the moment and the previous 18 years of my life. So starting in, I guess, when I was born.
Let's start
up
at the very beginning. There we go.
Up until high school, I've never been in a relationship in my life. Yes, still going strong. It's been a very interesting journey, a very big part of my testimony and who I am as a person. So basically, in school, I just could not understand people just dating to date. I could not understand. It's like, what are these kids doing?
Recreational dating.
What on earth? For me and the way that I view life, I couldn't relate to that at all. So I've always been, no, I'm not going to date someone unless I think that I'm going to marry them, kind of thing. And people would come up to me and be like, oh, but Mia, you'll never know if you truly like someone if you don't date them. Which is not true. I've had many very valuable relationships, in the sense, friendships with guys that have meant a lot to me, and that the Lord has used to prepare me for my husband one day. And just having guy friends around, God's showing you that that's godly, that's what a godly man does, or that's what you want in a guy, or this is what you don't like. That's a big one. Be on the lookout for things that you don't like. My mom always says, one day when you're married, those things are still gonna irritate you.
And that's a reality to remember. The person's not going to be perfect. Just remember that. We're waiting for one person, but they're not perfect.
We said in the first video, you're not perfect, your partner is not perfect, but having two people become one before Christ, that's the perfect plan that he had for relationships and marriage and stuff. So, I would usually just run away when people would ask me about singleness and relationships. I'm like, because I'm so different and no one understands, and only me that's feeling this way. I'm just sad. But has the Lord used that thing that he has planted in me ever since the beginning? Because I can't explain. It's not something that I chose. It's something that he really...
almost like a calling.
Definitely. I feel like the Lord has definitely called me for that. Something that I can really boast about, but in a positive way, is that I have a very intimate relationship with Jesus. I have a very, very, and some people don't always understand what I try to say when I talk about this, but it's like I've always been dating Jesus, which is such a cliche Christian thing to say. Yeah. I always see those memes that Christian guys put up where they're like, oh, you know, Christian girls, they're like, sorry, I'm dating Jesus, I can't date you. But in my life, seriously though, I have a relationship where I go on dates with Jesus, I slow dance with him, I sit in the shower and I talk to him, I do those kind of things because he has used my singleness throughout my life to really force me to depend on him and to go to him to find the truth that he says about me and
your identity.
My identity. And always kind of been in a mindset where it's Jesus and me against the world kind of thing. We're the team. I had like this thing where I'd be like, Squad MJ, you know, when I was a little girl.
Goodness.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we're the dream team, it's me and Jesus.
Sweet.
Yeah. And continuously throughout high school, especially where I started to become closer to certain guys, have guys pursue me, those kind of things, really going back to what does the Lord say about relationships, what does the Lord say about how a woman should be pursued in a godly way, allowing him to prepare me to be a godly woman for my husband one day, or even just friendships, something I've definitely learned, guys, girls, your relationships with same-sex friendships definitely prepares you for your relationship with the opposite sex one day. Small things you pick up in friendships, example, Grete and I, things that we learn from each other that we know, okay, I like that quality. I like that she is so patient and that she can handle me losing my head and those kind of things. I would like that in a guy one day, because if the guy can't handle me being crazy 24/7, then how is he going to handle my kids one day? Some tiny Mia's running around. The poor guy. Fast forward, lockdown. So, independence this year, our first year out of school, you know, we're supposed to be these independent young people, and suddenly the world just changes more than we've ever known before in our lives, and we're stuck in homes for like
too long.
Too long. I had the amazing privilege of being allowed to go back for on-campus face-to-face classes for the second half of the year. So I've been living my best independent life in Stellenbosch, and really for the first time in my life feeling like I really don't, even if I now can be in a relationship, because my thing was always, I will not date in high school. I will not. That was my personal thing, just for how I saw relationships. And coming back on campus and being in church the entire time, I've really been plugged into the church, and being around all these amazing godly men all the time, which is fantastic. But for the first time in my life, being in a place where I was, I really don't want someone in my life right now. I think having someone in my life right now would annoy me. I don't want that right now. No, but seriously, I was in a mindset of, I can't imagine having to drag around a man with me now the whole time. I think that would just annoy me. And just enjoying my singleness and running in what the Lord has promised me in this season, and really been just living my best life as a woman of valor.
And in that, not saying that men, no, bad.
No, I've made so many amazing godly men friends.
I think what Mia just means to say is that there is a season and a time for everything, and in this time we have now of being single and of being of having the honor to be pursued by God and to pursue God, is to really, really fully appreciate that time, like you said, to be plugged into to Christ and to invest in this time.
Enjoy it. It's not depressing, it's not sad.
No.
It's there's a certain freedom to it
Yeah.
that you have to really enjoy. Just enjoy it. Just rest into it and be like, this is where I'm at now, and it's great.
Yeah.
And I've also had a funny thing. So it is important to pray for your future spouse.
Yeah.
We know this. It's very important. But in that stage this year where I was completely, radically just independent, I had this thing come over me where I wanted to pray for my husband, but I could not for some reason. Every time I would want to pray for him, I just feel the Lord saying, no, don't. And then I would start praying for him, and then eventually I'd just be praying for my girlfriends. And it just wasn't the time. I'm not in that season at the moment. And it's beautiful now that the year's ending. I woke up and I started praying for my husband. I was like,
Hey.
whoa, oh my word, Jesus, what are you doing? Starting to prepare me to be an intercessor for my family one day, which is one of, I personally think, the coolest things about being a woman is being the backstage warrior in your family. So that's kind of just very, very democor.
Very just like
disorganized and all over the place.
But beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically my personality.
Yeah, that's what's so beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, that's my singleness testimony in a nutshell. I hope that something made sense of all that.
Definitely.
Something that Grete and I really have bonded over the years is our singleness.
Yeah. And I don't think it's important. Get someone like Mia.
Get friends who will run in that season with you, and who you can rejoice with once they finally found their significant others, because you were part of the journey. I can't wait for her to meet her husband. I think he's going to be the coolest guy. He's going to have the prettiest hands on earth. I can tell you that now.
I know that.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. I'm ready for that. Let's receive.
Amen.
Yeah, guys. So I hope that you could have been encouraged and inspired by this beautiful princess. That was part 2 of our being single phase season. Beautiful story. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, just like
love it.
Let's go.
And hit the subscribe button, leave us some comments, just on your thoughts. And that was Singleness part 2. This is Mia.
I am Mia.
And
this is Grete. I'm Grete.
Bye guys.